out.
can't believe that we have...
I know. The one, the only.
Oh, and then I need to bring that down in the mix, right? That's what you're saying.
It was a little loud, yeah.
Soundboard, bring the soundboard down in the mix.
Tweeted out.
All right, and then I'll do the audio. And you said there was a sound with the audio going whoop, whoop, whoop.
No, on the live stream.
Right, and you still hear that.
No, it was just that one time. That's
It
what I
hasn't been
kept telling
since?
you. Yes.
But you never said that.
Yeah, we sat there and we tested it together.
Not afterwards.
Yes.
We heard it afterwards.
No, we didn't hear it afterwards.
Can you check right now?
Yes.
We'll make this part of the show. That's Hattie Cook.
Oh, hi.
And while you... Are these my sponsors here?
Oh, that. Yeah, that's important. to have
Tripcase and Wealthfront, right?
Hold on.
Oh, you didn't do that?
Well, hold on. You're giving me lots of things.
Well, you know when the show airs every day.
Wealthfront, yes, and Linda is your other one. I will grab that one.
Yeah. So not Tripcase this week, just Linda.
Yeah.
I mean Wealthfront and Linda. Okay.
Oh, no. Oh, and Tripcase, and it says mail route too, but she never sent me a read.
Oh man.
I know.
I want to get her in here.
I know. She didn't.
All right. All right. Well, if we're gonna get
I will get
Joanna Stern.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm
Oh, and I got to get rid of this one, and I got to put in the new ones.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Why don't we make this part of the video? People get upset when we do that, but I don't. Today I'm going to do it because we got new
I
stuff.
do hear the little power cycling.
Okay, so you do hear it. That is correct. That is what I wanted to know. And you said we didn't hear it. I knew we heard it.
I thought we didn't hear it.
I want to
anymore.
be able
thought
to
we fixed it.
implicitly trust everything that you say.
I thought we fixed it. I thought we said like if we just
Nope.
No?
Nope.
Okay. You said then it's having
See,
a problem.
and this is the point where I feel like I can't trust anything you say if you get that wrong. Because that was something that you pointed out to me and you said this is a problem.
I thought you were going to take care of it.
Right, so why would you say that it was fixed?
Because I thought you had fixed it.
If you have no idea, all we did was listen to it and I said, "Oh yeah, that's there. We need a new computer." And then
we got a new computer.
no, we did not get a new computer. We got a brand new, which is not what we wanted. No. And I'm still you have no idea how upset I am about that. I'll make this part of the show. Let me do the intro here. All right. Who's editing this? Me? Great. Today is Monday, April 13th, 2015. This is the Dan Benjamin Hour. And we've got a couple things we want to bring up to speed. What do you think of the way this shot looks, Hattie? What do you think of this?
I think it's nice.
I feel like it's too low in the shot. So anyway, I'm standing up now, and I will go to the room camera. See, I'm standing up.
Good.
I'm at my stand-up desk. See that? Standing up.
I can stand up too, but
it's too late for that. You could have done that because if you stood up now, what would happen to your shot? I think
you'd be looking at the wrong part
of
me.
Some of the men in the audience might be pleased.
Yeah.
But
others not.
And maybe some of the women too. Why be exclusive?
Right. Why not?
A lot of the audience would enjoy it. But
I don't know about that. But
anyway, we're not going to do that because you could have done it before the show and you didn't. And here we are. It's Monday. And boy, do we have I'm really excited about this show because one of my idols, my teen idols, Joanna Stern is going to be joining us later in this episode. Don't know what we're going to talk about yet, but I know it's going to be great. And I am standing. The reason I'm standing is because despite all of these great exercises I've been doing, the daily stretches, everything else, I managed to somehow screw up my back. I don't really know what I did. I don't know what I did.
It's an old problem that has returned.
Right, but I haven't had, it's been more than like a year.
It has. It's been a long time.
It's been a year since I had any problems at all with it. All these stretches and everything I've been doing have been great. And then so I think it was a combination of things. So I think on the one hand, I think it was we moved a lot of furniture, even though I did it all the right way. We moved a lot of furniture.
We used the sliders.
Yeah, we did everything right. But it was I've been working so much the last 2 weeks. I think it was just way more standing. I sat a little bit more than usual, and which is not good. I actually do almost everything. Like I have a standing desk, the uplift desk. And so I think it was just a combination. And then I got a bunch of bad sleep, like a few nights in a row. All of this stuff, I think, contributed to the muscles. It's called the piriformis. Look it up.
I don't need to look it up because I have problems with it too.
Yeah. Piriformis. started like what happens to me is like the muscles, it's not like I did something and then it was like, whoa, I just shouldn't have lifted that. I'm in bad pain now. It wasn't like that.
This is a repetitive
Like
motion that over time weakens and hurts the muscle.
Yeah, it's like overworking it. I've overworked it. And that was a very painful. So I had a very painful weekend. And then I went to this place. Can I say who it is? Are they a sponsor?
That I would love them as a sponsor, but I don't think they do any advertising because they don't need to.
Austin Deep is the name of this place, and they do they do deep tissue massage, and they have lots of plays on their name, like we go deep and all this stuff.
They do. They have.
Can you please describe, Hattie, the people who work at this place and what makes them different than the kind of people that might work at another massage place?
You mean just the overall experience of specific people?
The kind of human that works there.
It's all women.
It is
masseuses,
all women. Yeah.
Massai. Ooh. And they it's very cut and dry when you go in. It's nice. It's not like, welcome, you're at a spa, you're gonna get a massage. It's like it's almost medical in a way.
Yeah.
You go in and it's just
the rooms are nice.
They're playing nice music, but that's kind of it. They're not like, this is a scent. Choose a scent that speaks to you.
Right.
Or like, we're gonna wash your feet now. It's none of that.
We've been to places like that here in Austin, and you know, and it's weird to go in there. And I got this for my wife for her birthday. You go in and they like pamper you and all this. It's like, I don't want that.
Day.
So Austin Deep, you go in. And it's like, they're like, okay, what are you here for? Just relaxation? Do you have a specific problem? What are you doing?
Like, I'm in severe pain.
Right. And so I go in there and I tell them exactly what's wrong. And then they say, okay, and they get to it. Now, it's not as good as Jill. Jill said she'd be on the show. Did I tell you that?
That would be awesome.
Jill said she would be on the show.
Oh my gosh, she could talk about fixing everything that's wrong.
Yeah. So look at that. What do you think of this shot? I'm not happy with this one. It all looks terrible.
Needs to go.
I need to put the guitar. I need to hang the guitar up there on the wall.
It needs to come closer to you and be taller, looking down on you more.
Anyway, the people don't care about this.
No one cares.
So we have an updated song for when we do this kind of thing. Thanks again to Daniel Jackson, who is...
It's Inside Baseball.
I think he put a little reverb on it or something.
Yeah, a little echo where it's like... Secrets.
So when we talk about our stuff like this, we do it, and he gave us an outro. So when I'm done, I'll play the outro. Anyway, Jill's going to come in, and she'll talk about something called... ART, which is active release therapy.
Yep.
She is, and I'm one of those people who is like chiropractors. They're kooks. They don't, they don't know what they're doing. They make stuff up as they go. They're not real doctors, and they're conning your money, and they could paralyze you.
I have gone to a chiropractor my whole life, so I'm a huge fan of chiropractors.
So far, not paralyzed.
Not paralyzed, as far as I know.
So. I went in when I was having this problem originally, and you're like, oh, you gotta go to Jill.
Right, you
didn't. Jill.
But little did you know, it changed your whole game.
Changed my whole life.
Because she's like an angel.
But she doesn't do the normal thing that a chiropractor does of popping you and whipping your neck around.
Right.
And
she does a combination of two things.
She barely does any what you would call adjusting on me. She just
if you don't want adjusting, she won't do it.
I'm laying in a position, and then she gently puts a little pressure, and it goes all down my back. But it's the same thing I would do in the chair at school, in my desk.
Right, where you cross your legs and then you twist, and then you cross and you twist the other side. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I like to just take the little back off, and then I just roll them together like that.
Actually, the one I was looking for was...
I tuck my heels in underneath, and then I kind of roll it forward like this, so it's kind of pinched in between.
That was the one I was looking for. What happened to that kid? Old Hattie.
Tired.
Yeah. So anyway, Jill's going to be on the show to talk about what it is she does and how it's changed my life for the better. Of course, she was out of town, so I had to go to Austin Deep instead, and I'm better today, but I'm standing. And I think I'm going to keep standing in here because I stand the rest of the day. I just want to be clear about this. I'm standing the whole day.
Yep.
I stand the whole day.
Keeps you awake.
So anyway, I feel like that's something people could benefit from learning about this. And that's it for Inside Baseball today. That was just that. That's the outro.
I love that.
You like that? Anyway, I'm so excited to have Joanna here.
I know. I'm excited too.
Before we get to her, I want to get to a little bit of the news, and I would like to say thank you very much to, where's the Linda read?
Well, start with another one first.
You said you were going to...
I said I was going to go get it,
I
but
thought
I'm
you went
still
and got
working
it.
on other things. No, not yet. Just go.
What, your Facebook?
Yeah, just
Okay.
Facebooking.
Thank you very much to Tripcase. This episode was brought to you by Tripcase. Tripcase is helping brilliant people take over 30 million trips in just the last year alone by collecting their flight, hotel, and other trip items into a single app. And that's what's genius about Tripcase. It is one app. It talks to Pebble. It talks to Android Wear. You're always up to date. It's got Uber integration, free flight alerts. You can share your trip with your buddies. And you can, when you're out there and you find a cool place, you can remember the place. And it will keep track of that. So the next time you go back, it'll be like, oh, yeah, that restaurant I went to that time with the really good whatever. It'll reroute you to it. Destination weather. It's even got integrated seat maps. And all of this stuff happens in one app. When you get your hotel or your flight reservation, you forward it to their email address, trips@tripcase.com. And it's super smart. And it says, oh, this is Dan. This is his trip. Integrates the whole thing all in one place, all in one app. And it's free. And there's a special URL, tripcase.com/DBH. Tripcase.com/DBH is the place to go to download and learn more about it. And wow, it will change your life. And I think you're going to be happy. So go check it out. And here's my Linda read, which I can do later. We got some great news. Some really, really, really great news that I just... I haven't talked about this a whole lot because in a way, like, I don't want to draw too much attention to it, but I feel like, behind the scenes, it's been something that we've talked about and done a lot about. And here it is. The podcast patent troll has been hit hard with a really nice ruling. It's a decision that could potentially prevent Personal Audio LLC from requiring people to pay it if they update their shows with new episodes. That's like they got some ridiculous patent on this. So we're very happy about that. Very happy about that.
I clap too.
Yeah. I want to get the kids cheering because it's a big deal. It really, really
I like
is a
that
big
one.
deal. You like the kids
I'm
cheering?
starting to like it.
It's growing on you?
Yeah.
Where is that one? Here. All right. This is the deal. Unfortunately, this patent troll company is here in Texas, which is the worst. But finally, EFF, Electronic Frontier Foundation, has petitioned for a review of the patent. They raised more than $76,000 from public crowdfunding to cover legal costs, and now Personal Audio is decided they never should have been given ownership rights to a way to create an updatable electronic table of contents. The U.S. Patent Office has invalidated critical parts of related intellectual property rights that it had given them in 2012. How could they have given it to them in 2012? It's ridiculous. In 2012, we know better. The decision significantly curtails the ability of a patent troll to threaten podcasters big and small. That's the EFF. And this is great news. It's great news. But if you look at this article, which are in the show notes at 5by5.tv/DBH/27, there's this diagram that basically is like how anyone would ever update a website with uploading a file and updating a web page. It's so stupid. The idea that this could ever have been a patent is ponderous.
Super lame.
Ponderous. And so here's some of the notes. The EFF successfully challenged elements of the patent troll on the basis of two arguments. One, the suggested technique would have been, in quotes, obvious to other developers at the time, meaning it should not have been protected. Duh. Of course it was obvious. This is an example of the patent trolls taking advantage of saying, of course, this is a standard way to do everything. But you know what? The courts are too stupid. The U.S. justice system this is what these patent trolls said. I'm not saying this. This is what the patent trolls said. The U.S. court system is too stupid. And the patent company, the patent folks are too stupid to know that everybody knows how to do this.
Right.
If you want water and all you've got is a bucket and a rain cloud, you're going to put the bucket on the ground and wait for it to rain. I can't patent that.
You
I
should.
can take a little shell and a little leaf and put it on the ground and drink the water out of the little shell when it fills up with water. You can't patent that. That's how everybody stranded on an island is going to get water.
Right.
This technique that they patented is how anyone would update a website to list new things. It's just stupid. The whole patent system is so screwed up. The suggested technique would have been obvious to other developers at the time, meaning it should have not have been protected. The evidence given for this was that CNN had described a web-based video library of its own in 95. Thank God for CNN having done this. Because you know what? A million other places had done this too in 1995. Because in 1995, I did this at a company. It's so stupid. The Canadian Broadcast Corporation published a paper in 96 detailing its trial of a system that allowed people to download radio shows from the web following their broadcast. This meant the technique had already been anticipated or described in a printed publication before the patent was filed. Taking advantage of the fact that in the 90s, and how they got this in 2012, I just don't understand how they got this in 2000. Anyway, good riddance to this thing. It's the worst. The worst. I don't even know how it got it, and there's good riddance to it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm sorry, but this is just ridiculous.
I know.
Okay. Anyway, I had to do that story. Are you all right with that? You look surprised or
No,
something, like a deer in the headlights.
Because I
A deer in the headlights.
I like to see the passion behind it. Very angry.
Good riddance to that stupid patent.
Reminds me of Grit.
Yeah, I'm episode late. That's why I didn't do Grit last week, because my back was awful. On Friday, I was like, I'm going home. This is done.
I know.
I'm done
I was
with
like,
this.
what about the frequency? And you're like,
Yeah,
nope,
I'm like, good riddance.
dead.
Do it by yourself.
And I wasn't going to do that.
The Apple Watch has gained pill reminders. My pills.
My pills.
My glasses and my pills were there, and I can't find them. My glasses and my pills.
That's good.
Well, the Apple Watch, good for the. I'm going to call this the best watch for the best smartwatch for the elderly, and others for whom pill reminders are important. See,
Yep.
and it's squashed again. Look at this thing. Someone comes in here and squashes this
On purpose.
on purpose, almost like on purpose.
Jordan.
I don't think I have that soundbite ready.
You have it on your regular computer. You
Yeah.
just play it throughout the day.
The Apple Watch has gained pill reminders. That's a title. My Pills title.
Got it.
Doctor consultations and more from a dozen new healthcare apps. Healthcare. HCSC, WebMD, Kaiser Permanente. I love that name. That is a good name. Kaiser Permanente. Do you like that?
Permanent Kaiser.
What is that? Permanent Kaiser. Dexcom, HealthTab, Vocera, and many others, enabling everything from health records for patients to medication reminders and continuous glucose monitoring on the Apple Watch. Tons of great stuff here. And this is great. This is what my son Cash said on his show, episode 1 of his show. You send your doctor
He had
your
the
heartbeat.
best idea.
Send your doctor your heartbeat. There's one here called Everybody Walk from Kaiser Permanente. Are they Italian or Spanish?
Or Russian, as you're saying it.
Or Russian. I'm saying that's a Russian accent?
Yeah,
It was
kind of-
Italian.
Eh,
It was Italian.
What are you boys
Eastern
doing
European.
Here? You speak in English?
Okay. HealthTap provides instant access to doctors on call 24/7 from anywhere, right from an Apple Watch. Centered app from Healthcare Service Corporation. Vocera allows you to rapidly manage life-critical communications. This is so good. Lots and lots and lots. They just got pages and pages and pages and pages of all this. It's great. No one's going to be sick ever again. Speaking of sick, Twitter is pushing celebrities and publishers to stop using Meerkat. Twitter wants to help publicize Periscope and wants to make Meerkat go away. Please go away, Meerkat. Please. Don't look at me anymore, Meerkat.
turn around.
Turn around.
Face
don't-
the corner.
Don't stand at attention looking at me in the eye.
As if I were a hyena on the plains.
Sources say that Twitter's been in touch, this is reported by TechCrunch, with media companies that use Meerkat, going so far as to imply that if they don't exclusively use Periscope, it could cut off their access to Amplify. Amplify is Twitter's, essentially, it's like their commercial TV. It's a product that, quote, pairs media companies with brands to create promoted tweets based around video clips, giving a boost of reach to both to the media company and the brand sponsoring it. That's a lot of mumbo jumbo. But basically, they're threatening celebrities of one kind or another. And here's a quote about this. Twitter hounds every celebrity after they try Meerkat, almost to the point of stalking, a source said. What source? Who knows? Adding that it's leading to some tension internally as well. Twitter is absolutely obsessed with Meerkat. They talk about it all the time to the point that Periscope employees and founders are angry. This is this quote from their secret person. And they say the Twitter celebrity outreach team is involved on behalf of Periscope. Meerkat unwittingly built its initial live streaming app on top of Twitter's social graph, communication and distribution systems, not knowing Twitter had acquired fellow live streaming app Periscope months earlier. No, I don't know if I agree with that, Hattie Cook.
Yeah.
I talked to the Meerkat guys, and I don't know if they knew about Periscope or not. Fine, maybe they didn't know about Periscope. That's fine. But
I don't think they did.
maybe they didn't. But they're not dumb. Everybody knows as soon as you get something good going on Twitter that they're going to cut you off. 3:37. I got to get Joanna on here.
I know.
Just a couple quick things I got to blaze through because I want to dedicate the whole second half of the show just to Joanna. Hattie, very disappointed in this next story. Amazon has launched X-Ray on Fire TV to bring IMDb movie and TV data to the big screen, so that while you're X-Ray is basically like while you're watching something, it will pop up information pulling from IMDb. So if you're looking at somebody on screen, it'll tell you their character name, and then it'll tell you a little bit about that person. It has to be stuff that's on Amazon streaming video.
And it has to be stuff from IMDb.
And it has to be on IMDb.
I have a much better idea
What
about
is your
this.
idea?
My idea is, first of all, what person has not been watching a television show and said, I really like her skirt or her sweater, or I really like his tie in that one shot, or wow, their house is so cool. I wish I had their light fixtures. Like they would go perfectly with my house. Advertising, why wouldn't you have a little pop-up that very, very small that just shows like, oh, you like these light fixtures? Like as you're showing the people sitting on the couch and there's two lamps beside them or something, the lamp would pop up and the ability to buy it on Amazon or whatever. That's what I would do. Or bring up, a Banana Republic thing that says her skirt's from Banana. It's only this much. And if you enter this promo code because you're watching the show live, you get a certain discount. That's my idea.
I mean, it's a really good idea.
Idea of the week.
Oh, yeah. Anyway.
And you could enable and disable that for certain shows.
Right, so you don't have to see it every time.
No, it wouldn't be intrusive.
For those who are watching video, let's see if this video actually plays. Oh, I hate when they do that. When it looks like it's a video and then it never actually plays, and it's terrible and the quality is horrible. But back in the old days, we used to have a little show called Fight Club. And it looks like somebody has sort of recreated it here. And this is not the original because the original probably had a takedown. But what they did is they show the main character, the narrator, as he is walking through his apartment. I'm going to try and find a better video of this. As he's walking through his apartment, here's a still of it anyway. YouTube's being silly. It shows these little pop-outs that come up over the real world as he's walking through it, showing you what each of the different items are. Now, that's not Hattie's idea, but wouldn't it be nice if there was something like that? I think it'd be amazing.
Or maybe, at the end of a show.
The ultimate product placement.
Along with the credits, maybe like links somehow. I don't know. I haven't thought that far ahead in my idea. But like a compilation of where you can get everything like that. But then that gets into, prop searches. And so some things might be rented. But whatever. Yeah. Who knows?
Well, you know what something like that would require, Hattie? To work, it would require money. And how do you get money? You save. And how do you save? You use Wealthfront. Boom.
Boom.
Wealthfront is the automated investment service that makes it easy to invest your money the right way. Hattie, is it possible that I didn't do the disclaimer on Friday's show?
No, I think you did do this.
Okay, someone asked me what happened to it. You set it and forget it. You're earning money, and you know what? You want to invest. You want to invest for your future, for your retirement, and you don't know how. How do I do it? How do I do it? Wealthfront knows how. You go, you get an account. They'll ask you a series of questions they want to have answered immediately. And you answer them, and they determine your risk tolerance, how to fund your portfolio, and they get started immediately working 24/7 to manage your investments, rebalance your portfolio, reinvest your dividends. It's all commission-free, constantly monitoring your portfolio for opportunities to lower your tax bill, making sure that each trade gets that you make is tax efficient. And they charge only 0.25% per year, which is less than the quarter of the cost of a traditional investment advisor. You don't have to worry anymore. And for 5x5 listeners, they get a special thing here. Wealthfront.com, wealthfront.com/5x5. You get your first $10,000 managed for free. What? Crazy. Go check them out, wealthfront.com/5x5. There's a couple more links.
Disclaimer.
Oh, gosh. See, I did forget it.
No, I don't think you did. I think I interrupted you and maybe it got edited out. I don't know.
Wealthfront Inc. is an SEC-registered investment advisor. Brokerage services are offered through Wealthfront Brokerage Corporation, member FINRA and SIPC. This is not a solicitation to buy or sell securities. Investing in securities also involves risk, and there is the possibility of losing money. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. Please visit wealthfront.com to read the full disclosure. Boom.
Touche.
The trip case, and we get Linda later. I'm going to blaze through these last couple ones because I want Joanna to have the whole. I want her to show. I want it to be her show.
It will be.
Apple has updated Final Cut Pro and companion apps to boost performance. I don't know a single person that's using Final Cut Pro anymore besides Zach.
Yeah.
I don't like this shot. Look at how weird this shot is.
Yeah,
we'll fix it. It's anemic.
I can fix it right now.
Nah, it's sorry. And no one's using Final Cut Pro anymore. You know why? They use now Adobe Premiere and they use Avid. That's what they use now. And the reason when Apple updated Final Cut Pro from the last version, I guess it was 6, to Final Cut Pro 10, every single human that I know has walked away from it. Every single human. I wonder, did Sandy use that? Do you know? Find out if Sandy uses it.
I saw a sandwich video on the regular television. I was watching just some regular TV, and I was like, I know him.
Yeah, you know that guy.
It was cool.
Speaking of things that are on TV, last night, Game of Thrones. Yeah. Did you watch Game of Thrones, Sadie? I actually know. I know the answer.
Yes, I watched it.
You watch it for the dwarf, and I watch it for the plot. But a lot of people wanted to see all 5 episodes.
Oh yeah,
and
it's not good.
This is what happened. It's the first 4 episodes of Game of Thrones season 5 have leaked. They leaked out. We don't know how they are. Apparently, they were review copies. They were SD as opposed to HD, but they went and were released, and people are torrenting them. And I heard that by 6 p.m., over 50,000 people had the first episode. Then I heard it was 100,000, but TechCrunch is reporting on this. And terrible as opposed to, the whole, it could have been the whole, I guess it could have been worse. It could have been the whole season. But it was just
that would have been bad.
Just the first 4 episodes of it.
4 or 5? I thought it was
4.
5. Okay.
It said season 5.
Oh.
First 4 episodes.
Numbers.
Are you actually dyslexic? Because you say that you are, and I think you're joking, but are you actually diagnosed?
No, I'm not diagnosed. But 6s sometimes are 9s, Ds, Bs.
But those are things that a lot of people could.
It's more with numbers than anything else. Maybe I'm just going too fast. I don't know.
I mean, it may be in your desire to come up with a very fast answer.
I scan.
There we go. See, I got our 2 shout.
Oh, yes.
It's a little bit different.
And you fixed the audio on this one, right?
I fixed it last week.
Okay, good. I didn't know if it kept that or lost it every time.
I saved the file. But thank you for, making sure.
Well, it loses everything else, so
No.
Why would it keep
the only thing it loses is a squashing thing.
No.
Anyway, that's it. I'm not really political on this show, but Hillary Clinton, what's interesting about the way that she announced her presidential bid is some aide sent an email that sort of exposed the fact that it was official that she was running. And he sent it out to all of her 2008 alumni announcing, yep, she's running. Well, she has her own email troubles anyway. But she then tweeted it out and said, yes, I am running. So technology.
Yeah.
And her logo for it can you, oh, yes, Hattie is looking.
Sorry.
Do that again. No, do that again. This is what she keeps doing. She's, for those at home, she's sort of leaning and squinting because now that I'm standing up at this thing.
You're covering up my view of the live.
Yeah, so we need to move the camera
output.
for her.
No, or you can just pull the television out to the side just a little bit.
Anyway, her logo, it's an H with an
FedEx arrow.
With the FedEx arrow, right, the invisible arrow. Not invisible at all. So anyway, she did that. And speaking of Game of Thrones, last night Sling TV couldn't keep up. You went on your Roku and tried to use the Sling TV and it didn't work, etc. I just thought it was worth a mention because that stuff is so hard to do. And the last one, a data firm is saying, Slice Intelligence, I've never heard of, is thinking that about 957,000 people in the U.S. pre-ordered an Apple Watch. They have come up with this number based on e-receipt data from 9,080 online shoppers and then extrapolate that out to determine how many. Oh. So they think that it was about 1 million total orders.
You were one of those million.
I was, but I'm actually feeling like maybe I'm going to cancel it now.
You were mentioning that.
I may cancel it. I don't know. I'm gonna go do the try-on thing in the store, and experiment with that if I can make an appointment and see it.
Yeah, if we can get one.
But I'm just not. I don't know. I'll ask Joanna about it because she's wearing one right now.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? I don't want to keep her waiting anymore. I think it's time. I think it's time to get Joanna Stern. Should I do this, or you want me to do the read before or after her?
How many do you have? 3 total?
This is the last one. I don't know why I got 3 booked on here, but that's great. But that's a lot for a short show.
Sure, do it now.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Yes.
All right.
Yes.
All right. Well, this is Linda. Everyone loves Linda. And now she's worth $1.5 billion. And what I know is that Linda is going to continue making great content. A lot of people have asked me about that. They said, what do you think of the whole Linda thing? Are they going to continue to sponsor? Are they going to be great? I think they're going to be better than ever.
I think so too.
Because they're going to continue to make amazing, amazing courses. They have over 3,000 on-demand video courses. And go there and learn something. You know what? That's all I'm going to say. Go there and learn something amazing. Okay? We're going to give you a 10-day free trial. The URL is lynda.com/dbh, lynda.com/dbh. Go there and learn something from the experts. That's all I'm going to say.
10 days. You get 10 whole days.
Get and you said that you get Joanna on here.
Yep.
You said that you put her thing on here?
I have 2 for you to choose from.
It shows Jen Simmons.
No, I'm not on there
Joanna.
yet.
How are you?
Oh my gosh, I finally have you on the show. Welcome to the show. How are you today?
It's great. Great to be here. How are you doing?
I'm good. This is, I think, maybe the first time that we've spoken directly in the way humans talk.
This is the way humans talk, I think.
How are you?
I'm good.
Now,
how are you?
I'm doing good. Now, you're way up there in New York, right?
Way up here on the 17th floor in an apartment building in New York. So I'm really way up here. Yeah.
And you've got a lot of technology at your disposal. And I've made a decision. I've never talked about this publicly, but it's 100% true. That I will buy or not buy technology based on how you review it and how you rate it. This is an absolute truth. Did you know that?
That seems like
No.
I can't decide if that's a really smart decision or the dumbest decision I've ever heard.
No, because listen, you are. I'm 100% serious. You have all of your art. You are able to keep things light and put a bit of sense of humor into the stuff that you write, and that whatever, because it's so easy to get mired in like megahertz and RAM and all this nonsense, and you find a way to connect with your reader. I feel it's very effective. It's very honest. And it establishes you, I think, as somebody that is very trustworthy, just based on the fact that you seem open-minded. You seem like you don't care if it's iOS or Android. You don't care if it's Samsung or Apple. You don't care. You're in there and you're ready to say, you know what?
But not Microsoft. But not Microsoft.
So tell me about that. How
That's
do you?
a joke.
I know. How do you? So for the record, that is a joke. She's very
right.
How do you do that?
Microsoft. I love you, Microsoft.
How do you do it? Keep
well,
an
first of
open
all, I would
mind.
say that a lot of people, I would say, I don't know if people fans of your podcast, but I would definitely say fans of some other podcasts would not agree with you, but that's okay. I'm really happy to hear that. And I've heard a lot of great feedback on my Apple Watch review from Android fans and Apple fans and people who are not fans of any technology. So that's been amazing. It's been a great week to hear how many people liked that video, which was a crazy project that I thought nobody would ever watch, and people watched it, which is awesome.
That is awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I try when I look at products, I just kind of try and look at like, would I use this, right? I mean, that's the biggest thing, between me and the product is like, would I actually spend my own money on this product? And with the Galaxy a couple of weeks ago, I really fell in love with that phone. If I was up for a contract, as I said at the end, I would have a tough decision. Though I, also got into the fact that I am part of this Apple ecosystem, and getting out of that right now is pretty hard. And
I mean, is that one of your goals? Are you trying to get out of the Apple ecosystem per se, or is it just coincidental?
No, actually, I'm thinking about doing this kind of big piece soon. Probably shouldn't totally spoil it, but looking at all the different ecosystems and how we sort of have to commit to one of them right now. And so, and how a lot of that commitment comes from the people around us and our friends and our family who happen to be parts of other ecosystems, right? And so certainly living in Google's ecosystem is pretty easy on the iPhone, but obviously living in Apple's ecosystem is not easy on any other sort of product. And Microsoft, sort of same thing goes with when you talk about Google. And so for me, jumping out of Apple's ecosystem, it's not a goal. I think Apple's doing some good things with software, some bad things with software. Obviously, they make amazing hardware, which is why it's very hard for me to leave.
Yeah.
But, one thing that also really ties me down, especially on the phone front, is iMessage. My whole family's on iMessage. All my colleagues are on iMessage. The people in my life that are important to me are on iMessage. My new puppy's on iMessage. So that makes it pretty hard to sort of jump around right now. And I kind of want to do this big piece looking at all these different ecosystems, how these companies want us to sort of commit to one of them, and what's the best choice for us. But that's a project that's in the works.
Well, it's interesting that you mentioned that, because you talk about that kind of commitment thing. And this is something that we're seeing if you're paying attention to what's going on. There is more. I remember back in the old days when Apple was very much doomed, and was actually doomed, that, there was this cult of Mac philosophy that, we were Apple users and like we were thinking different and we were really different. And, it's rare that you see outside of sports the kind of allegiance that you see to like a technology. And I've heard people say, like, it's a technology company. It's a company. They're a for-profit company. And I'm sure that there are people at the company who are saying, whether it's Samsung or Apple or whoever you want to pick, Microsoft, whoever else, that, that they're saying, we're trying to make something great that's going to make people's lives better. And that's true, and I believe in that. And I believe there's a whole lot of people who are working hard to accomplish that. But at the end of the day, they're a for-profit company. And
right,
like
totally.
the fact that we have an allegiance, we as the collective the royal we have this collective allegiance to, it's a company, like it's a for-profit,
right.
But there are people have that to their favorite coffee shop or to their favorite restaurant or to their favorite team, of course. But are we caught up in that too much? Is it that we believe that Apple is going to make something better than Samsung,
right?
And you're closed off then to Samsung, And
and I think you're totally right. And I think we feel it as technology journalists and commentators, especially when it's really interesting when these companies sort of go through the downward cycle. And when you look at a company like BlackBerry and you look at some of their fans, they're like an incredibly rabid fan base.
Right.
I can't even tell you the emails and the personal attacks I've gotten from them. I've certainly heard from pleasant BlackBerry fans, not as many as the very angry ones, but it's very interesting to sort of watch how these, I would say Uber fans, not fans,
right? Not
Uber,
fans of
company,
Uber, but yes.
Though certainly I'm sure there are some of those coming as well, and how they sort of develop over time with some of the companies and how they face the criticism of the companies, especially when as you're saying, when they go, these, for-profit companies go through the downward cycle of profit and do not profit, and their stock prices go down. I mean, we're watching it happen right now with Apple. People defending sort of Apple still in the heyday, and people get on both sides of that argument. And then, yeah, like I said, when these companies sort of go in the down, even on Microsoft, you see it, and it's some crazy attachment.
It really is. And that's the thing that kind of gets me is, there are people who here's a good argument that I've heard. I've spent over $1,000 on video and music in iTunes, and that's why I'm using it. Like, to me, that's a very good reason to say, well, I'm going to stick with Apple, for example. Or, you know what? I'm a developer for Android, and I really like that platform. Like, those are very valid reasons. But I find that it's difficult, like when Andy Ihnatko very famously switched away from the iPhone. You're not here switching to the Samsung per se, but you gave it a really positive review. And I that really resonated with me, because I'm the type of person where my focus is I just want the best tool. I want to use whatever the best tool is. I used to drive an Audi A4, and I loved that car. I loved it. It was an amazing car.
I loved that.
You felt like you could just...
That is a good car.
You could do whatever you wanted in the car. And by that, I mean, if it was raining and you wanted to stop or accelerate quickly, you could, and the car would just do it. It was very safe. It was fun. It was a great car. It was the wrong car for me with 2 kids and, passengers and having to load crap into the back. And I traded it out, and I got a car that was the right tool for the job that I need to do right now. And eventually I hope to go back to another Audi A4 one day. But right now, I have an MDX instead, and that's a much better car for my situation. I don't like it as much, but it's safe. In fact, it's very, very safe. And
it's comfortable.
It's comfortable.
Yeah.
It's got a lot of room for kids. The reason I mention this is that was the right tool for me for right now. The job that I hired it to do, as Horace Steady would say, is, transport me and my kids safely and effectively. And it does that way better than the Audi A4, even though I like the Audi better. It doesn't matter. So I just care about the right tools. I'm surrounded by Macs. There's Macs all over this office, because for me, they're a way better tool. But if all of a sudden there was another manufacturer, another computer, another operating system that was better, I would switch to it. If I could justify whatever cost was involved, I would switch over to it immediately. Why, Joanna, do you think people are so resistant to this idea that there has to be this allegiance or tie to something?
Well, I mean, I think also we should talk about some normal people, right? Normal people don't really love change. I mean,
True.
What we're talking about right now is sort of the fan base and really have strong commitments or prefer certain platforms. But I think a lot of this really does have to do with, human resistance to change. A lot of people don't want to try out a new thing, or they'll try something out and then they're like, okay, that was good. I tried something new and now I'm going to kind of stick with it. I think that's certainly the case with our computers. I mean, if I hear from a ton of readers who just don't want to leave Windows. They just they prefer Windows. And so a lot of them actually, through reading my reviews, are now buying Macs and running Windows on there. And so, a lot of that just points to me as, okay, you wanted the best hardware device here and you prefer this software platform, and that's great. And I think, with more and more choice, more consumers, normal people, have to get used to that change. But like you said, there's lots of different tools now that fit the right thing for them, and you just want to have the best tool.
Now, last week you had a couple pieces come out, which you alluded to before about the video, talking about the Apple Watch and the Apple Watch in the real world and what it's like to live with it. We'll put these great articles in the show notes. Show notes again at 5by5.tv/dbh/ what, Hattie, 27?
27, I
27.
believe, yep.
And you've got a couple of articles that are in particular that jump out. What the Apple Watch does best, make you look good, and then Apple Watch, what living with this thing is really like. And I wanted to see if you could talk about that second one. You got. I'm showing a picture of it to the people who are enjoying the video right now of your helmet.
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
So for those who are at home, not watching and just listening, there's Joanna with a helmet, headgear, and a camera attached to that. She's holding a Starbucks in one hand, and she's in a New York subway by 6th Avenue. What's the story behind this? What were you doing? And explain all of this to me. Why are you wearing a helmet in the shower?
I could talk about this video all day because it was such a crazy project. But I'll, sort of start from the beginning. For this review, I wanted to do something completely different. And actually, the idea of the review started because I wanted to make fun of Apple's ads. I wanted to take Johnny Ive's ad, the ones they've been showing since, the September launch and then the new one now. And I wanted they keep showing this perfect watch on white. And I wanted to make this sort of very clear, like our lives don't look like this. And Apple always does this, right? They always show, and I totally understand why, right? At being in video, things look great on white. You get to see the details better.
Right.
We actually shoot most of our B-roll on white because I like how it looks. And so my big mission with this was, let's show how this thing really works in real life. And obviously, I don't know anyone else's life except for my own.
Right.
And I kind of kept thinking through this thing. I want to show people how I used this for a day. I mean, obviously, I've been using it for a week, but one of my usual days. And so when we started thinking about ways to do it, one of my colleagues, a producer named Gerard Cole, who works at the Journal, actually won an Emmy 2 years ago for a similar type of formatted video that was about Obamacare. And he had this crazy helmet at his desk. And so I said, what's been going on with the helmet? Is the helmet still like up and running? Is the helmet still, is it got any gas left? And he's like, yeah, we can do something with this. And I was like, let's see if it would work for this. And so we started playing around with it, wearing the helmet. And for those who have not seen the video, I mean, I'm not in the video at all. It's just my arms and my hands, and I walk around. And so it's all shot from point of view. Lots of people have asked me, did you use Google Glass? Why didn't you use a GoPro? We decided to use a 70D, a Canon, because the detail would be so much better. The film, the video would look so much better. And so what was really hard about that actually is that we had to keep focusing. It doesn't have a fixed focus. And so my producer, we would sort of do the shot and he would either rack focus or make sure everything was in focus, and I'd put this helmet on and then do the scene, or sort of like wake up in my bed and have this huge thing on my head, or take a shower with this huge thing on my head. And so, I mean, the whole goal was to just show people in our everyday lives without sort of doing this flashy, beautiful video, which usually we do, how this thing is to use. And so we took you through a day and people really liked it. I mean, I think what was the hardest part about this was figuring out what I was going to say, because I sort of wanted to do it in sort of my everyday or inner monologue instead of just talking to the viewer. And so that, look, there are things I wish I'd maybe changed in terms of the voiceover, but I think it worked out well. So that's a lot of inside baseball. Maybe you can get your inside baseball tune.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
we can. I can play that for you. It's there you go.
It's inside baseball.
Anyway, I love this video because
I like that song.
oh, you
I
like that?
song.
It's pretty
Yay.
good. I'm pretty
Yeah, I like that song.
pretty
Yeah.
happy with it. The guy who did it is pretty awesome. Well, I'm looking at this video. I've watched it a half a dozen times already and what I liked about it is, it makes you get a better sense in a silly of a way. And I can only imagine this was your goal. Like you get everyone should go watch this video. It will be in the show notes. But this is on the Wall Street Journal and the article is called Apple Watch, What Living with This Thing is Really Like. What I really appreciated, and the nicest touch for me, is that in the upper left-hand corner, you've got the time, and then you've got the percentage of battery, because that's the thing that people are always kind of consistently wondering, like how long does this battery really last? What is this thing like on your wrist? How does it feel? What is it when somebody calls you? And what do you have to do to wake up the watch? All of these are like the real life examples, because I'll say this. I remember the first time that I saw the iPhone was along with the other folks who were watching Steve Jobs introduce it to the world all at one time. And that was pretty cool. And I remember the first time that I held the iPhone in my hand and tried the things that they did on screen on in that film. It worked. It did all the things. And I think that the iPhone is an example of something that Apple has made that really does deliver or exceed what it was that they said it would do and promised it would do in the real world. I'm very curious about the watch, and if it's something that's going to deliver on that promise, I think in the health space, it makes a tremendous amount of sense. My 7-year-old, who now has his own show, it said, you know, after I told him it could take your pulse and things like that, he said, well, that would be great because you could like take your pulse and send it to a doctor, and a doctor could like diagnose you. Those kinds of benefits are tremendous. But maybe you can just, in a nutshell, what's your take on this thing, aside from the obvious health benefits, which everyone is rightfully talking about? Like, what do you think? Are you going to be wearing this? Is this the kind of thing you think you'll enjoy?
Yeah, I mean, as I said in some of these, by the way, I need to listen to your son's show. I love that he's 7 years old and has a show. He's certainly, maybe he'll have me on.
Man.
Would you be on his show?
Of course.
Oh my God, he would flip out. He would totally flip out. Like he would really flip out.
Set something up.
Yeah, let's do it. No,
I would love to be interviewed by him.
That'd be awesome.
But back to your question, as I said in this piece, I think there's so much potential, and I think so many of the reviews talked about the potential, right? And I think that was hard. When you're a reviewer, you don't want to review on potential. You don't want to say, well, this thing's gonna be great, but that's actually what you end up saying, and that's what I end up saying a lot. And so, maybe it's a cop-out, but I do think right now, I mean, when you look at this product, you feel like this thing could be so great.
Yeah.
Right now, it feels okay. It feels good in some situations. I mean, Apple Pay is a place where you're like, okay, yeah, that's great. For me, the working out situation as a fitness device, it feels good. It feels okay. It feels like this could be so much better. There's one little instance I talked about where it kind of came together for me, and I was like, yeah, this thing is awesome, and this is going to be one day something I think many people can't live without, or it's going to change their routine. And for me, that time was I went for a run last Sunday. I had to work out so much with this thing on. Now I've been eating pizza ever since. So I went for a run Sunday morning. I left my phone at home. I preloaded the watch with a playlist. I paired the watch with a Bluetooth headset. I realize it sounds kind of crazy, but once that was all set up, I left my apartment. I went for a 2-mile run in Manhattan.
Yeah.
No phone.
Right.
No phone at all. So, I actually love to work out without having notifications, without having my email. It was a complete escape.
Right.
Stopped at Whole Foods, used my watch to buy coffee and water, and then ran home and didn't need the phone.
Right.
Right. And that was a freeing experience. Think about like in this small little device on your wrist, how much I was just able to do.
Yeah.
And so to me, that was like, wow, like, I don't know totally what this thing is going to be for everybody. For me, that was really cool. And other instances like that have happened for sure, where you can easily glance at something. You don't have to go dig through your bag. But I wouldn't say that's, hugely life-changing.
Yeah.
But I think that's why a lot of people are looking at this health aspect. That to me seems like it could be life-changing.
Yeah.
Even I overheard you guys talking about the medication alerts. I think that can be hugely life-changing to people. I have tons of notifications on my phone, and part of what I might want to work on for my next piece is how do you figure out how those important notifications come to your wrist? I think that's going to be hugely important for this platform. And again, that's one of the places, huge potential, just not there yet.
Well,
so I just threw a lot of stuff out, but I think like we don't know yet.
Yeah. Yeah,
right?
and see
Neil Patel and I were talking about this. We go on these news shows and people say, "So, do you like it?"
Right.
And it's like that's such a hard question to answer. Like, is it great?
Well, wait a minute. Why is that a hard question to answer? And I'll tell you what I mean by that. When the iPhone came out, and if somebody had said, "Do you like it? Is it great?" I would have said, yeah, heck yes, it's changed my life, and I don't know what I've been doing all my life without this stupid thing in my pocket. Like, that was an obvious thing.
Right.
If you ask somebody if they like having airbags and seatbelts in their car, they're going to say, well, I like to know that if I got in an accident, it would save me, but I don't really care other than that. In fact, I would rather not be wearing one. It's uncomfortable, but I know it will save me, hopefully, if I'm in an accident. So is it one of those things? Is it more like you can see the benefits to this, but actually using it isn't something you like so much? Or is it more like, like the iPhone where you're like, gosh, how did I get by without this thing?
Yeah, I mean, to me, it's definitely not that iPhone experience.
Yeah.
It's not that first smartphone experience from 5 or 6 years ago. It's just not that. I think that's where we're all sort of saying, well, there's huge potential here. There's so much huge potential here. And I agree with that. I mean, there are certain things I really do like about it. Like I was saying, there are things that are great about it. There are things that are okay about it. The interface thing to me is something where it's been a big question to me. Like, is Apple going to eventually streamline this interface? It feels very confusing to me. I think Farhad at the New York Times, his lead was great. It took him 3 days to fall in love with this thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's as long as it really does take to start to figure out how to use it. And that's very different for an Apple product. And also, like, we are tech reviewers. These people who have been saying it's hard to figure out, we are professional tech reviewers. That's not my mom. That's not my dad.
Right.
That's not even my sister, who's very tech savvy and starts using this and starts like, why are there so many buttons? And why are there so many menus? And why are there so many things? I think that's a real obstacle. I do really wonder about that in terms of returns and in terms of people trying people's out and saying, yeah, this thing looks too confusing to me. It's not for me.
Yeah.
My guess is that of this early, maybe $1 million people's orders or whatever,
Right.
That a lot of those are early adopters. A lot of those people sort of are going to embrace new technology and try it out and want to have the latest and greatest thing, and they might not have a problem starting to use this. It's right. It's the next couple of million.
Good point. Well, listen, thank you for being here. Thanks so much for taking all your time out today to be on the show. If people want to get caught up with you, they can follow you on Twitter. You're Joanna Stern, Joanna. You get the 2 N's just to mess with people.
Yep.
Joanna Stern. And
I love your cover photo.
This is so cute.
So great.
And then they can also, and I'll put all this into the show notes, but they can follow you or read all of your stuff on the Wall Street Journal. And where else are you? Where else do you put your stuff?
That's really it.
That's the best places to go.
Twitter. I'm on Twitter so much.
Yeah.
I mean, even if I'm not like tweeting, I'm looking at Twitter. It's very bad, or maybe good. Instagram, but like,
Is it just going to be
just
pictures
right now? That's a lot of photo of my puppy.
of your new dog? Yeah, I'll forgive you for that.
Yeah. Do you not like dogs?
I have no problem with dogs. I just, whenever someone gets a new dog or child, it's there.
Yeah,
It takes over their whole feed of everything, and so. But I haven't. I don't care.
No, I agree. I'm totally that person. I sort of hate myself. This morning, I was like, no more photos. Okay, one more photo.
Yeah,
I'm that person. I apologize to the internet. I apologize to everyone everywhere.
Lots of pictures, but it is a cute dog. It is a cute dog, for what it's worth.
Sleeping on the ground next to me. He's just so cute.
But
he's also bad sometimes. But he's good. But he's bad and good.
Thank you for being here.
I still think he's a genius. Yeah. I don't know.
Thanks for being here, and I appreciate it. And I hope that my phone is ringing. I hope that you will be here again soon, and I would love to set that up with you and my kid.
I would love to.
Bone up on your Minecraft, though, because that's his main interest right now. That's all he cares about.
Oh, man. I'm really bad at Minecraft.
Yeah. All right.
Very, very bad.
Well, I appreciate it. And,
okay,
and
I'm
listen,
going to have to look up his show, though. I'm going to go watch it.
Keep writing, because, again, I won't buy anything unless you tell me to buy it. So I appreciate that.
I'm just going to give something so bad a great review in like 2 weeks.
I'll follow it.
Buy it.
I will buy it.
He will buy it.
I will buy it. If you say to buy it, I'll buy it. Watch. Thanks for being here.
Did you buy the printer I recommended a couple of weeks ago?
You know what? I am in the market for a new printer, and I was going to buy it. The article, by the way, which will be in the show notes, also is called "In Search of a Printer You Won't Want to Destroy," and a great homage to Office Space in the destruction of a printer. So yes, I will be buying that printer.
Do not know technology journalism held to you review printers.
Well, thank you, Joanna. We'll talk soon.
Thanks, guys.
All right, bye. Skype barely held on in that one.
I know.
Barely held on.
I think it has to do with the connection in New York.
It's New York,
it's
right?
Just New
it's
York.
Just New York. New York. Skype hates New York.
Yep. She's awesome.
She's great. I don't know who gave. She was alluding to someone gave her a hard time. I'll tell you what.
Time to put your armor on, Dan.
I'm gonna take. I don't need armor. I'm gonna go out and take these guys out back. Crack some skulls. Dare say anything to Joanna. Kill you. That's not a threat.
It's not a threat.
Well, I have to be clear, because otherwise,
because the internet.
They'll swoop in on you. I think Joanna's great. I don't know why. And I like everybody today. What does that sound at the beginning of that? Do you hear that little?
Yeah.
What is that?
I don't know.
Okay. So anyway, that about does it for today's show. It was good. It was good. This was a good show, Hattie. What do you think? Oh, sorry.
I
I
liked
noticed
this
you're on your
show.
phone.
No, I was looking at pictures of
Oh,
Joanna's puppy.
whatever.
No,
You can
look.
do Facebook, whatever you want to do. I
Right,
don't
just
care.
Facebooking.
You can do it.
No, it's a good show. I liked it.
Consider your vacation time
My vacation is just during the show.
during the show. I
Right.
know it's a big commitment for you to,
Right.
be
It's
here
a huge commitment.
on the show. Thanks everybody for tuning in. You can go to 5by5.tv/dbh/27 to watch this program. We record it live. We record it live 5 days a week. We record it
Yes.
live on Mondays right now at 4 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Central, 1 p.m. Pacific, because in the mornings on Monday I do the Inotco Almanac with Andy Inotco. The afternoon show on Monday is good because you know what? There's not a lot that happens over the weekend. So in a way, it's kind of good,
It's like
right?
a relaxing show.
I just keep telling myself that. The rest of the week, it is at 11 a.m. Eastern time. So thank you very much for tuning in, and we will be back tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern time. We will see you then.